So we are starting with our Piscal or our animated GIF, and we would have created our account and clicked the create sprite function. So here we are on our screen, and it says that we are going to be creating a new Piscal. So here are some tools. We're going to be using the pen tool mainly, and you've got various sizes of your pens, so there's little squares at the top. We have our paint bucket tool to fill large spaces, our rectangle tool, and our circle tool. Our eraser if we make mistakes, and our move tool to help us move items when we need to. The rest we won't really be working with today. There is our color swatches that we'll be using, but we're going to start with the pen tool. So over on the side here, we've got just the layers and our preview. We only will be using these today. So what we'll be doing is creating layers as well. But first of all, what we need to do is change the size, and we need to make sure it's 100 pixels by 100 pixels. So you will need to change those. You can set it as a default, or you can just resize for today. What we need to do to start off with today is to create some layers, because we will be working in layers. And you will need 5 layers, and you can see that they have been put down below. Now we need to label our layers. So layer 1 is going to be background, and you can type that in and click enter. Double click on layer 2, and then we're going to change that to face base. Layer 3 is going to be eye. Don't forget to click enter. Layer 4 is going to be eyebrows, and layer 5 is going to be mouth. If you want to create different layers, again, for your background, if you wanted something to add to it, then you could create another background. But click on background, and we are going to create a background, and this will just happen in this layer. So I'm going to create a little bit of a pop art background. You can create one using an explosion. It could just be a bunch of dots. It's up to you. Today, I'm just going to do a simple kind of wavy shape at the back. I'm going to use my complementary colors to help me out here. So I've picked yellow, and later I will use a bit of purple. You can see that I'm changing the shape of my lines just to show you the difference in the size of the line shape. And I'm using the fill bucket tool to change my colors, and I can fill that whole space without having to really go into too much hassle with that. Again, I'm using that complementary color scheme to help me out, and I'm going to fill it with purple, as you can see there. So that's my background pretty much done. Now we need to work on the face, and you will see that the background changes. That's just letting you know that we are in a different layer. The background hasn't changed, the colors have stayed the same, but this is just to let you know that we are now working on a different layer. So we're going to create our face shape, and what we need to select is our face color. So to get different tonal colors for the skin quality that you would like, if you go into the orange, you can go down the color palette and you can pick a range. So you've got browns, beige, white, all the variations that you would like. We're picking the circle tool now, and we're going to create an oval shape, very basic, just a shape for our face. Now, if you want to experiment with that and make it round or make it different, then you can go for it, but the circle is the easiest one. And I'm using the move tool to center it into the middle of my page. And that is just affecting what is on this layer. So now I'm going to create a neck with my rectangle. and using that circle tool to then create some shoulders. I'm then going to get my bucket tool and fill everything in. I'm now going to select on my color, and I'm going to pick a color that's a little bit darker. Okay, and this is going to be a shadow color for me. And I'm just going to use my medium size tool to show where my neck and my chin separate. I'm then going to figure out where my nose is going to be using the same color, and I'm just going to make a slight kind of shape for where it would be, not going into too much detail. Because my nose isn't going to move in my animated GIF, I am putting it in this layer. I'm also going to include ears, hopefully soon. You can change the shape of your pen tool. And for the ears, we're just kind of putting the shape of our ear. We're not really going into too much detail with that. You can make yours as big or as small as you like. Now, with this, I've realized that one is higher than the other and a little bit smaller. And to get rid of that without having to erase everything, I'm just clicking the Control Z option, which is allowing me to fix it. So now I'm experimenting with a little bit of a bigger ear. And it's not quite working for me. So Control Z. So now what we're going to do is put in a little bit of clothing. So clicking my color swatch or palette, picked a different color, and I'm just creating a neckline for my shirt. And then just filling that in with the bucket. Now what I'm going to do is go into my browns to do my hair, because my hair is brown. So what I'm doing now is just going to fill in where my hair is. So I'm just going to do it as one kind of big shape to start with. That I can fill in. So I'm not doing it individual hairs. I'm just filling that in with one big shape. Obviously, you can experiment with your hair however you would like it to be. If you want it to be like your hair currently, that's fine. If you want to make it pink, you can also do that. And just filling that in. Now, I would like to put some of the details, so some highlights in my hair, because it's looking a bit boring at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pick that color. I'm just going to pick a lighter color. So moving up on my color palette. And I'm just going to draw some lines. That adds a little bit of interest to my hair. And obviously you'd be taking your time doing this. I'm rushing mine a little bit so that we can get through this video quickly and you've got all the information that you need. Okay, so now that we have finished the base of our face, what we need to do is save it. So we're going to click on the Save tab and we are going to rename our piscal or our GIF. Okay, and I'm just calling my Miss Wells's animated GIF. And I'm clicking Enter. Now we have different save options, save online and 2 offline options. Because we will be working on this over a couple of lessons using our laptops in class, the best option for us would be to save online. Now, by clicking this, it will save to a gallery that is attached to our Piscal account. And you can see here that the name has changed. That means it has saved. And if you click the My Gallery tab, it will take you to another browser, and you will see that in your gallery in your account, your new animated GIF should be saved. Okay, so please check that before you exit the whole entire thing. All right, part 2 is up next.